The fact that the relationship has ended tells you immediately that there was a lot wrong under the scenes. I've had relationships where the adult children have interfered. You've heard me speak about this before. The mother, because of her DNA loyalties and things, has had no comprehension on how to deal with it. And of course they know that their children are going to put their heels in and oppose any relationship that the mother has, because that will take the focus off them and the supply off them. A lot of these children are really deeply, adult children, so dependent on their parents. They've never grown up, they're still infantile, which is not a good sign for them. It just shows that they're not going to make it in life. They're being groomed to be this way. The parent doesn't want them to change. That's how covert emotional incest works. The parent doesn't want them to change. They're not going to change. They've got it too good, as bad and as messed up and toxic and dysfunctional as it is. They're not going to change. And so you have this situation that you've got yourself in, where there's more than one person in the relationship, and the other participants, which is probably usually covert, although you have become aware of it, are working against the relationship to make it break. The house divided will not stand. So if you're with a partner that's got a foot on each side of the fence and they're split in their loyalties, I can tell you right now that person's dangerous. That will manifest against you at some point, probably at the most important point where you need that person. It may not seem that way, because usually we let our faithfulness, loyalty, devotion and commitment and love blind us from a lot of the realities that we're evil realities that we've put ourselves up against. And so we stay in the abuse to try and prove something to somebody that couldn't care less anyway of how good we are, and that they should stay with us, and that, you know, this should be a normal. It's not going to be a normal relationship because the other person doesn't want it to be. You've run your course. Your batteries have run out. The interest that that person has in you, the theatre that you've presented, the show that you've put on is over. They've ripped up their ticket. They've got up out of their seat. The curtain's drawn. The doors are shut. The theatre's closed. You're over and out. But you continue to stay. It's like standing at the door of the theatre after it's shut. The show's finished, everyone's gone home, and you're expecting it to start up again just for you. Well, they're not going to. They don't want you around. You're not getting the message. You're allowing yourself to be abused. But you might say, well, they're not saying anything specifically. It's just, you know, I've got this feeling that something's not right, but I can't put, they don't want you there. But they let me come around. They're using you. Abuse is the measure, unresolved is the measure. The way in which we measure how deep the abuse is that we're putting up with. That's how we measure it. And so, as your mental health declines, because you're trying to be devoted and committed and loyal to somebody that doesn't care if you are or not, right? This happens every day. You're not an exception. You're just another fool, unless you decide to become wise and say, look, I'm out of this. And that takes wisdom. Unless you're prepared to do that and be that, this could go on for years. You're running around, making all this effort, and they're only giving you half an effort. Don't forget, you've got these flying monkeys and minions and gronks in the background disrupting the momentum of the relationship, and this person that you're with is happy for that to happen. And you're well aware that you're being undermined and you're still going back for more. You need to wake up to yourself. You need to get some value for yourself and stop putting yourself in a position where these people can abuse you. Because when you do that, when you shut those doors, when you walk away from the theatre that has no value for you, doors open where you're supposed to be. And then the next thing you know, you find yourself in a relationship, hopefully, not always, but hopefully with somebody that's better. And if you don't, then you've learnt your lessons from the last one and this one, and you keep trying until you do, if that's what you want. Modern day superpower is to be able to be happy on your own. And if you have a relationship on top of that, well, all well and good, but it's not going to disrupt the genuineness of your happiness and contentment and ability to be on your own. Because that's what these people will do. They'll diminish the way you perceive yourself, the value that you have for yourself, and the effort and contribution and commitment, loyalty and devotion that you have for that relationship. You need to get out, walk away, go no contact, and never, ever, ever, ever go back.